Hi guys, today I'm at my parents' country house. I just got back from the beach and my hair looks pretty bad, but this is not any beauty channel. This is a channel about fragrance and my love of perfume. And I've brought a whole bunch of stuff with me out here so I can keep, trying new stuff. And it's just I'll never take a break from it. And today I have gone through a house. It started actually a few weeks ago when I got the first fragrances from this house, Sketch and Compliment, and I had also tried Abîme, and I'm talking about the house Maison Violet. And I don't know if Natalie Lorson owns this house or if she's just their master perfumer, because this house has been here, there's a card in this little discovery set and it says 1857, June 23rd. My God, is it June 23rd today? No, it isn't, but almost, right? So I think that what they've done is, it was founded back in the day by this guy whose name was actually Violet, his last name. Let me see, I wrote a few things down about the brand. His name was Mr. Francois Etienne Violet. So, and here it said it was founded in 1827. Here it says 1857, but I think my information came from Fragrantica, and it might not be quite the same quality as their own stuff. And this is even, so it might be slightly younger, this house. And so what they've done is they've taken the fragrances and kind of they want to kind of pay, what does it say here? They're like a tribute to vintage perfumery, but with a fresh touch and modern ingredients, because they want to be relevant, connected with temporary aspects, and conscious of what is going on these days. So they want to use ingredients, but that are kind of harvested in a sustainable way. And they use actually between 96 to 98% natural ingredients. I saw that on Fragrantica, and I'm not quite sure that is completely true. I have not dug deep. But someone had written an article on Fragrantica. They had been to the big fair show. What's it called? Essence is it in Milan? I'm not sure. And they said there were three trends. One was sincerity. The second was slow perfumery, and the third, unique voices. And I'm not quite sure that, I think that this was mentioned as kind of maybe like a sincere, I don't know. So, I mean, they're using naturals. But I'll have to say, as a whole, all of these were created by Natalie Lorson, or Lorson, as Sebastian usually calls her. I think it's Lorson, but I really don't know. And she is, she's like a master perfumer. She's been around for decades, and she's created all kinds of things. Many of that I do like. But this house, just the fragrances, I think they're just too weak. And I'm not sure if it's because of, they're using all natural ingredients, and it's difficult to make a long-lasting projecting perfume if you don't use at least a little bit of synthetics. I'm not sure if that's it. But as a whole, I would describe this house as close to the skin, natural smelling, not groundbreaking. And none of these fragrances are wow to me. And they're powdery, they're irisy. There's iris and violet, I find in a lot of them. There are 8 fragrances here in all. And I'll go through them a little bit one by one, but I'm just not going to spend so much more time with this house because I just have so many other things that excite me more. These would make for a real good, easy wear, some of them. I mean, if you like tuberose, Compliment is a good, nice, green-leaning tuberose with also some other white florals in there. I mean, it has gardenia, jasmine, and some other stuff. It's not a bad fragrance. You might want to, if you're looking for a tuberose, this might be one to compare with, perhaps. And then there is Sketch that I thought was my favorite. It's an amber fragrance, but I like most all ambers, and I don't think this one is super unique. And they're all kind of they don't last. There is one that does last, unfortunately, because I don't really like it, and it's Abîme. This is a Palo Santo sandalwood fragrance, and I'll read you the notes. Let's see here, because I think to me it comes off too smoky, especially in the beginning, and then it dries down to an all woody kind of experience. but it has black pepper, chili pepper. I don't get that. Let's see, Palo Santo, elemi resin, sandal, cedar, and incense. But when it dries down, all I get is like cedar wood. I just, kind of similar to what I thought about Purpose from the new Amouage fragrance that I tried the other day. This is smokier. This is really smoky. I like the opening, and I have tried it before, and I like the opening, but I don't know. That is just not for me. But that seemed a little long lasting. I had hard to get that off. I scrubbed that finally because that's just not my thing. Saying I didn't like Une Heure d'Apogée, and I know one of you guys recommended it, but it's not a bad fragrance. It's just that it's not my style at all. Let's see if I wrote some. Yeah, this is like a. Let me see. Here it is. Yeah, this is a tobacco fragrance, and I'm not a tobacco kind of girl. Tobacco, hay, mimosa. I mean, those are three notes that I don't care for that much, and especially not in this combination. So Bidbo has both a suede and a leather note, and iris, cashmeron, ambroxan, cedar labdanum. It's just too sweet, too tobacco-ish. I don't know. It's just I can't wear those kind of fragrances, at least not right now. I might go back to it in a few years. Maybe I'll like tobacco. Who knows? And then there's Tanagra, which is many of these are like violet and iris. I don't think it has violet listed, this particular one. No. Okay, so it has some. I'm gonna squirt this on. This is like not bad. They have quite high ratings on Fragrantica. The opening is really beautiful. It has tangerine pear and freesia in the opening. I wouldn't have been able to pick any of those notes. I smell iris. This is an iris. The jasmine, it has jasmine too, and in the base, musk, vetiver, and cedar. I wouldn't spend this kind of money, I don't think, on a fragrance like this. It's really soft and irisy. I have so many irises. I don't need this, but I could totally wear this. I like this. I just don't love it. And I'm just not, none of these are like wow or like something new to me. So I just thought maybe I'd save you guys some money too. And before you go out and buy these or blind buy these, God forbid. Let's see. We also have here Nuée Bleue, like new blue, I guess. Okay, so this is also like a infusioned iris kind of fragrance. Oh, this is one with a beautiful opening. They all have beautiful openings. Like they really have great openings. It's the dry downs that I don't love so much. Yeah, it does have an infusioned iris, but better opening. It's better than an infusioned iris in the opening. It's fruit. It's orange blossom. I think it's because it has orange. Let me see. It doesn't have orange blossom. Yeah, orange blossom, lemon, and bergamot in the top. Really beautiful in the beginning. Those citruses with the orange blossom. It also has iris, carnation. Yeah, they all have iris basically. White musk, benzoin, sandalwood. It's really pretty, this one. But when it settles down, it smells like so many other fragrances that I sort of have, and this one is not like any incredible. This would be a great gift for someone who's like really sensitive, I think. That orange blossom, like clean sheet kind of vibe. It's fresh. I think maybe this might be my favorite. This is a really good fragrance. This is not bad at all. I'm not going to buy it. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't bring anything new to the table. I'm just not going to like, I don't even own this discovery set. It's going back to my friend. I think she'll probably, try to swap it with someone so she can try new fragrances, because I think she's also done with the house. She really likes, I'll tell you, we have our taste is slightly different. We do have an overlap, she and I really trust her nose. She's got a good nose. She really likes Compliment, like the Tuberose fragrance, but she's really into Tuberose. She'll have like Tuberose fragrances that are slightly similar, and she'll find them really different. Like she needs them both, like needs them all. Although she probably has 15, 20 Tuberose fragrance. I'm just guessing now. I'll have to ask her. But she wants Compliment. So maybe I'll just give her my sample so she can at least go through that too, because I won't be wearing that again. There was one more that I want to mention, the last one, and it's called Pourpre D'Automne. I guess it means like purple autumn. I'm guessing like purple colored autumn, like fall. I've written like violet-y and earthy, and the notes violet iris, violet leaves. So this is a lot about violet. I mean, the name does actually match the style of fragrances in here. I don't know if they've got a bunch more fragrances or if this is like all they have. I should have looked that up, but I didn't. I'm gonna spray this on too. This has a fruity. I think it had like a fruity kind of opening. Let's see why. Yeah, this has iris and violet. It's a lot of violet. You have to be into violet to like this one. And then it has, oh, plum. That's my plum and peach. So maybe that's why it comes off a little fruity. And then it has benzoin. I'm not sure I get that. But oak moss for sure. It has that kind of cold, earthy kind of, I find that often combined with violet, oak moss and violet. And then sometimes fragrances also will have carrot seed. And this doesn't have that, but it's that style of fragrance. I mean, I like it. Would I buy it? No. It has a little bit too much of this iris silver mist from Serge Lutens for my style, which has way too much like oak moss and carrot. I don't love that style, but I'm really happy to discover a house that I don't want a single fragrance from, especially now that I'm going on these trips, or at least one trip that I know of for sure, where I'm going to be exploring Papillon. I'm going to be exploring what else? I might want a bottle of Chameleon from Zoologist. I absolutely love that fragrance. What else do I want from there? She's got new stuff too that I don't even know about. But she's got like smaller brands. I think she's got like Olive Van, whatever that's called, that house. I mean, things that I won't be able to try it all because she has so much in this little shop. She's got a lot. So I'm really glad not to buy anything more. I've got to let go fragrances. I'll tell you something that I've been experiencing here in Sweden. I would be very curious to hear if it's the same in the States. I find that it's really, really hard right now to sell things secondhand and get a decent amount of money. But I'm talking like, 60% of the full retail price for whatever's left in the bottle. I used to be able, if I put the price at 60%, I used to be able to sell everything because I think that's a fair price. I've even gone down a little bit from that and still no one has purchased I put out 3 for sale. And these fragrances are a little bit, I would say they're a little narrow. They're not hyped at all. None of them are hyped. Well, one of them used to be hyped. And that one is Santal Complète from Fragrance du Bois. I've just decided that I wear it too seldom and the longevity is too poor. I mean, when I really, really go all in and I use 12 sprays, then it will last me like 2-3 hours. But that's not good. That's not that great. And it's kind of an odd fragrance to me, to be honest. So no, I got no response on this ad on Facebook in our groups. And then I put up for sale New Look 1947 because even though I love this fragrance, it lasts I mean, the longevity is so small, it has no projection at all, hardly. And I have a huge bottle and I hate to just see it standing there, but I won't go down anymore in price. Now I just took the ads down after a few days with no response. I'm just like, oh, forget it. And I think people are just, maybe it's, the start of summer, people are going on vacation, they don't want to pay. They'd rather maybe save their budget for maybe picking up a bottle, when they're vacationing, maybe in Paris, maybe they're going somewhere and just want to keep some money, saved for whatever might turn up. And then the third thing I put out was Electrolimonade from L'Orchestre Parfums, I think it is, which I have enjoyed. It has a spectacular opening, this Electrolimonade. It has like all these different citrus fruits, I think including grapefruit, maybe lemons, I can't remember exactly, orange. And then it's combined with mint and rhubarb. So it's like really fresh with a tartness. But that opening only sticks around for like 5-10 minutes. And then it kind of like settles down to like an incensey kind of a completely different experience. And it sits really close to the skin. So I have performance issues with that one as well. Don't use it that much. And I'm not always in the mood for these big, bright, citrusy openings. It needs its special occasion, like a hot day. I mean, I'm in a cold climate. We just have so many days with hot weather. And when the weather is hot, I prefer to wear something like, this morning I wore, what's it called? It means, I think, a church in the sea, or does it mean that? Dans les bleus qui pétillent. That's what it from Serge Lutens. It's kind of an incense, driftwood, algae fragrance. It's supposed to kind of smell like melting snow, kind of like, we have an expression in Swedish called like spring winter. It's kind of when the snow starts to melt. It's like a typical for March. And the sun starts coming out, and like the moss underneath the snow will start popping out, and you can kind of smell the sea at a distance. It's kind of like those kind of smells. It's really, really nice in the heat. I am enjoying that. I only have a decant, but I don't think I'll go full bottle. But that, I love also to wear Musk Palawan from Lorga. That is a beautiful, like tropical fragrance with exotic fruits, though not listed. Ylang ylang, musk, vanilla. It's really, really pretty in the heat. And Orangeya from Perfumum Roma. I love that in the heat as well. That has like a minty quality, minty, piney, petitgrain vibe. And something, petitgrain is like the broken up green branches from the orange tree. It's very, very green note. That one, it comes off really sharp in the opening. You have to wait for that one, like a good 15 minutes, but that is really good in the heat. So I don't think I need to invest more like in like good in the heat kind of fragrances, because I'm in a country where our dark part of the year is like 8 and 9 months pretty much. And I can wear heavy ambers and patchoulis and stuff like in March, April, no problem. Like a rainy evening. I just don't have very many hot days. And I don't travel that much, at least not where I am right now in my life. I just realized, actually, I dropped my son off at the airport the other night. I had to get up really early, and I just realized, I didn't feel like going anywhere. I was thinking I'd like want to travel, but I guess I don't know who to travel with, and I haven't planned it or anything. But I don't have a great urge to travel. And I used to complain about the Swedish weather, and I always want to go abroad in the summer because the Swedish summers are, cool compared to the Mediterranean. But I realize with age, I don't like that heat down in Southern Europe. I think it's really a kind of a drag, honestly. I'm not a beach person. I look at my skin. It's like, this is me kind of tan, my skin is really fair. My grandfather was Irish. So I have that really white skin. I'm not like super red. I can tan a little bit, but you should see Swedish people in general. They are so tan. Like, they're white in the winter, but boy, they tan in the summer. I don't know where like Swedes came, like how that's even possible. Another thing about Sweden, I don't know if you guys are familiar with our country, but it stays light like all night. And I didn't sleep that well out here because the light kind of started coming in, and we only have like a couple hours where it's dark. Up north in Sweden, the sun doesn't go down at all in the summer. So, we love our summers. We love the light. We really like go all in, and then we complain about the darkness in winter. But I think that we really make up for it in the summer. We eat outside. We do everything outside. It's kind of like a sin to go inside and eat if it's possible to eat out here in Sweden. So, you should come visit. And if you visit in the summer, because the winter can be really, really dark. Unless you're in for that. Maybe you want to like experience something different. Like if you're from Australia and just want to, you might find our winters exotic. And we had a pretty bad winter. We had like two periods. One was like in November, December, and one was, I think, in February maybe, where there came just so much snow. It was just completely like it blocked off the roads. People had a hard time getting around. Everyone was like sore. Their backs were sore from all the shoveling. And we had one real bad storm, like before Christmas, like all the trees started falling. I lost a lot of trees in my garden. I had to have like a company come in and remove them because, and that ended up costing me lots of money. So it was a bad winter this year. And the summer looks like it's going to be warm, but so I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, this is what, now I kind of was off topic, but I noticed that a lot about, like I was listening to, okay, now I'm going to mention her name. It's her name, the reviewer I was talking about in my last video that I couldn't think of the name. And I thought it was something like, this smells amazing, but it was, that smells divine fragrance. That smells divine. If you Google that, or if you search on that on YouTube, you will find her. Her name is Kelly. I really like her. She's so brutally honest, but she'll also like kind of like lose her. She'll kind of veer off topic and she'll start talking about her dog and how they rescued the dog, and she talks about her passion for wines, and then she'll get back on track. Like, I like that because then you kind of get to know a person. Like, I'll know a little bit more about her. And it just strikes me like we're so different in this community. Like, some people will be, I mean, I hate wine myself, but I can see kind of like how you could get really like into that and, you know, find that all the things in the wines that we could find, you know, in the fragrances. Like, I can see how that might be interesting. And I used to be all into cooking. That used to be that was my former passion. I was like this, you know, I'm making notes and I'm just like, I just can't get enough. I just want to absorb more information. I was up late last night listening to Ramsey talk about Initio. If you have not watched Ramsey on YouTube, Ramsey, Ramsey Fragrance, if you search on that on YouTube, you will find him. He is so entertaining to listen to when he's bashing fragrances. I really appreciate a negative review, and they're so hard to find. I do. That's what I appreciate about That Smells Divine, about Kelly, because she'll be brutally honest, and she has like under 1,000 followers. I think only like 500 or something. And at that point, you just know that people are going to be honest. And her favorite reviewer is Anna Laurent, who has like 29,000 subscribers. She's got affiliate links and everything, but she can be really negative about different perfumes. Like, this is not her thing. The longevity absolutely sucks. There's a clash of notes. She's, and I just wonder, like, I actually put a question in a comment, as a comment in one of her videos, and just ask, you know, how do you, I was curious to see if she gets sent free stuff and if she ever has like said negative or not all through positive things about fragrances that she's been sent for free, and then what happens afterwards, and how if you can just be honest with things that you get sent for free, that's really difficult if you can do that. I don't know. She seems really honest though, because she'll be like, she'll put all these hype fragrances up and say that I can't do this. I can't do this kind of fragrance because of this and this or whatever. It's way overpriced, or it's this or it's that. And I can see why That Smells Divine likes Anna Laurent, because they're kind of the same. They remind a little bit of each other. They're very articulate, and they're very like, kind of like, I like them. I like them. But I do like Ramsey a lot, but he was really, really bashing these two Initio fragrances, or three actually. He has separate videos on Oud for Greatness and Rehab. Those are a must-watch, regardless of what you think of the fragrances, just for entertainment reasons. And I think I really appreciate him being so brutal. And I like Oud for Greatness. I do. I don't wear it because I find it really hard to wear. It's so darn heavy, and it's pretty sweet and deep and big and loud. But I have a sample, and I've had the sample for 3 years, and I bring it out and I stand and sniff it at night, and I love it. I really love it. And so does Anna Laurent. She loves it too. Anyway, feels like I have something between my teeth that's really bothering me. I hope it doesn't show. Anyway, that was one. And then I did watch Rehab. I did. But he also says how much he hates Absolute Aphrodisiac, a bottle that I recently purchased. It's on its way to me in the mail, and I love it. And I kind of caught myself like being disappointed, like that he hates the fragrances that I love. But I think more than that, he actually did say that smelled like baby vomit, like the vanilla. Some vanillas give him an association to baby vomit, which I find really, really hilarious. I think that's funny. And maybe if I still had babies around, I would be able to relate more. But I don't typically like straight up vanillas. But Absolute Aphrodisiac works for me because of the animalic undertones. Like, I really, really like that. I think it's a really sexy fragrance. It's one of the few fragrances. That one and Musc Ravageur from Frederic Malle are the ones that I consider quite sexy fragrances. But what bothers Ramsey about Initio, I think, is their lack of creativity, originality. I think he said that like Rehab is a straight up copy, pretty much, of Spicebomb that came out years earlier. And he says also the same thing with Christian Dior that called their dupe Spiceblend. And just like, you know, they can't even think of a name more different from what they're copying. And what did he say? Okay, what did he say about? I think he just doesn't like the house at all because because of the prices they charge. I think he said, you know, Rehab and Ode for Greatness, they don't smell bad, like horrible. Well, I think he actually did say, because he tried Ode for Greatness when he was driving. I think he's on some kind of business trip and he was in his hotel room, and he said, you know, that rental car will stink of Ode for Greatness forever. But I think like Rehab, he said, was like, it's not a bad fragrance, but he hates what the brand stands for and what they're like trying to do, trying to put some cheap stuff into a bottle and then charge like, you know, outrageous prices. He just doesn't buy that at all. And I really, really think he's entertaining when he's this negative. And I think that I wish more people would do it, because if you go on YouTube and you search for like Ode for Greatness or Rehab, you'll find all the influencers, all the big influencers that have been given free bottles are like raving about these perfumes. I used to have a decant of Rehab, and I ended up not even finishing it because I just found it, I think I got bored with it. I think I found it too sweet. I can't quite remember. I just never kind of went back. And I know my friend thinks it's really similar of Ani. So if you want to look for a fragrance that's similar to Ani, but one that may be slightly different, or maybe Ani doesn't work for you, maybe check it out. I think that Initio is not so terrible as Ramsey makes it out to be, but I appreciate his perspective on it, and he's really careful about mentioning, you know, what came out before what and stuff like that. And I did want to also mention one more fragrance that I've changed my mind about since I tried it after the meetup. I tried Volutes from Diptyque. I just have a decant. It's the EDT. And I really liked it that night, but I think I might have had like traces of other perfumes under it, because now when I wore it, I just sprayed this when I was at the beach, just a little squirt. Now when I also wore it this morning, when I was kind of like checking out again, but then I went in and I looked at Fragrantic, and I saw many were comparing it to Chergui from Serge Lutens, created by Christopher Sheldrake. I guess it's kind of a much spoken about perfume. I used to have a mini. I never wore it. It always bothered me. There was something in there I didn't like. I just thought it was just not good. And I think this one, unfortunately, is too similar to it. It's a little lighter. So it's like a tobacco, honey, iris, dried fruits. That's always a little difficult for me. It also has hay and immortelle. Also, it can be difficult. Saffron, Apoponax. It's got some different stuff. It's got some myrrh in the base, but it reminded me of this Chergui. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I never loved it, and I never ever reached for it. I just caught myself. I had this mini that was actually, this mini was a splash bottle. It was really hard to take off the top, so that might have kind of made me also not reach for it. It was too complicated to put it on. I really, really, really prefer to spray on perfume than to do the little splash thing. I don't like that. But Chergui, I don't think I'll ever get a bottle of that. I don't think it'll come back to me either. But Volutes is very, very similar. But I like iris fragrances, but this tobacco, I don't know. I thought I liked it, but now I realize that I don't, and I'm actually a little bit happy. Our local department store doesn't carry that one anymore, but someone said that it's actually not discontinued, at least not the EDT version, but maybe the EDP, or maybe it was the other way around. I don't know. I'm not sure. But very happy to find some fragrances that I felt like I don't need and I don't like. I'll just give you a few little more things here, see if there was anything. I think I mentioned these already. I talked to you about Les Baisers de Dragon. And I love the interaction with you guys. Like, several people said that that's how they got into fragrance, or that was like a really special fragrance to them, to you guys. Oh, one more fragrance that I do want to mention right now that is really, really, and I only have this much left. Did I mention this or not? It was sent to me by Julia, the one who sent all these vintage Chypres and also some modern stuff, like in this cute little box. And she also had just a little tiny bit left in a sample from Olfactive Studio, and it's called Woody Mood. And I'm not a typically like woody kind of person, but this is a really good fragrance. I could not stop sniffing my arm. I was on my way out here to the country last night or last afternoon. It was pretty hot. I had it all on this one arm, and I was just like sniffing, and it's sweet, but it has all these woods. Let's see, what does it have? Yeah, it has sequoia. And oh yeah, and I learned about sequoia. You know, all my relatives are from California where the redwoods, grow. And I always thought sequoia might have been like the botanical name of the redwoods, but they're two completely different species, which is interesting. They grow like in California. They're both like native to California and Northern California, but they grow in different places, and they have different foliage, and they have different trunks. They've got the trunks, they're kind of reddish wood, both of them, but they have, one is a little bit more of a chocolate colored wood, and the other one's more reddish. So they are different. I think sequoia is the more reddish wood. So this is mixed with cacao. Okay, cacao. I mean, that's a note that I've really been enjoying. So maybe that's why I like it so much, because it makes the sweet not too sweet. This one is sweet, but it's not like super sweet. This has saffron, and saffron's a note that's been growing on me. And it has something called, what does it say? Jatamansi? I'm not quite sure. I've got to search what that is. I'm going to do a better review on this, but this is for sale still. It's only like, how much was it? Like $90 for, say $100 then maybe. The crown has really lost its value, Swedish crown. Like $100 for 50 ml, which isn't that bad. It was created by master perfumer Bertrand Dechaufour. God, I have a hard time saying that. Came out in 2017. I want to see what it says here. Yeah, okay, so yeah, this is what it says, that these trees, the sequoias and the redwoods, are often like referred to interchangeably, but they are very different. Let's see what it says. They share the same like color and height. They grow really, really tall. Yeah, so the sequoia is more reddish, and the redwoods are more like a dull chocolate brown. But I've always found the redwoods to be quite red compared to any kind of tree that grows here in Sweden anyway. Very, very special, and very, very tall trees. But it is it's a little bit balsamic, a little bit herbal. It has clary sage, ginger in the top. I think I need a bottle of this. I have this much left. I have for one more wearing. So I'm going to really pay attention to when I wear it, if I really need a bottle or not, or if this is just kind of like a first impression kind of. Sometimes you can get blown away because it's just special, and then you realize that you don't really want to wear it. You just enjoyed that first experience because it was something new. It was something you maybe didn't expect. Yeah, that was Woody Mood from Olfactive Studios. That price, I think that's a pretty good price, and I really appreciate the fact that they have 50 ml bottles. And I'll tell you what else Bertrand has made that I have actually gotten my nose on. I do like his work. He has made Ashoka and Trayee from Neela Vermeire, which I really, Ashoka is like a favorite fragrance. It has fig, although I don't typically like fig. Chypre Palatin from MDCI, which I absolutely love, which is like a Shalimar kind of Middle Eastern style fragrance, but it has kind of vintagey qualities to it. Like it has a soapiness to it. It has, I think, an oak mossy base. There's some fruits in there. When you're smelling Chypre Palatin, it's like wearing a modern amber, and at the same time you're experiencing, or I anyway, someone my age is experiencing many fragrances that I used to wear in the past, like when I was a young adult. So I just love that fragrance, and it has incredible performance. Then he's made something that I didn't like called Dream Woods, that I found to be like boring and designery. I haven't even looked up the notes on that, but it was interesting to see that. Then I have another fragrance, a decant. It's called Escapade à Byzance from Olibere. I don't know how to pronounce it in French. I haven't learned this particular pronunciation that I don't love. There's something in it. I wonder if it was too tropical or something. But I really want to get into more of his stuff. I know this is a perfumer that Ramsey talks about a lot, and I think I might need to get my nose on more of his stuff. But this Woody Mood, that's the best thing I've tried in the last couple days. That much I will tell you. And China White is still on my mind, and I have quite a squirt left of that. And they still have that in store. I actually saw that in store 2 days ago when I took a little round. I took a little walk around my favorite stores in central Stockholm. So if I want that, I should probably. I don't know about this discontinued rumor. Maybe I was just hit with the wrong information. It might not be discontinued at all. It might just be that the stores that we have in Sweden. We're a population of people that don't even use perfume much, so maybe it just doesn't sell. That could be it. It's very animalic, it has an animalic base, and that might not be for the people that shop in our like fancy department store. I'm not sure. Okay, well those were my impressions of Natalie Laursen's. I don't know if it's hers. I think it's actually. I saw Sebastian has on his channel a video. I haven't watched it. I bet it's just too much. It's too selly for me. He has an interview, I think, with one of the founders of the company. But it's an old house that they've kind of like brought back to life. That's my kind of impression about this. Okay, I think I'm putting this together wrong. It has like a sleeve, but you need to put the top on first. So this is going back to my friend. I'll see you in the next video, guys. I appreciate all your comments. I enjoy reading them. I enjoy answering them and just having this conversation go back and forth. And please let me know what you think of Ramsey and what you think of, That Smells Divine. If you like her, I think she's just a breath of fresh air. And I like these smaller reviewers. I'm just so off these ones that have like thousands and thousands of subscribers. I wish there was like one that had thousands and thousands of subscribers, yet bought all their own stuff and refused to be, do errands for the bigger brands, because that's basically what they're doing. They're doing the work for the marketing departments of the bigger brands and houses. They're just that's what it's all about. And I mean, maybe this is a good business deal for them, and they might think it's fun. I just think it's not worth. Your honesty and your dignity and your what we want. I mean, I want the real opinions. That's what I want. And some knowledge would not be bad either. I mean, if some of these really big reviewers had actually done some like in-depth kind of research and at least wrapped it up in something, that would be interesting. Like maybe dug a little bit deeper about how vetiver is harvested, or how many rose petals you need to make a drop of rose oil, or, things like that, the little extras. I appreciate these things. I was in the car out here. It's like a 45-minute drive, or it was an hour yesterday, so much traffic. I was listening to Ramsey talk about, I think it was his 1989 video. He has he does these year videos, and he talks about fragrances that came out this year. And before he started like mentioning the fragrances, he'll kind of set the stage, and he talked about all like world happenings that put 1989. What happened that year? There was this big accident, Hillsborough, where a lot of people got killed. I think it was at a festival or something, and there was the Berlin Wall, and there were this thing in China, and there was just. Because, he says the scents were not created in a bubble. They're kind of like, they're like contemporary. Is that what it's called? I mean, they came out in that year, and the perfumers, of course, were influenced by different things going on. And I just think that just adds such interesting information to just listing things and saying that this is so incredible. That, to me, just doesn't give me anything, because it might be incredible to somebody, but it might not be incredible to me. And I want to hear why it's incredible. If someone says, oh, it's so incredible because it has tobacco and tonka, then I just know that it's not for me, even if it's incredible for them, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I need to have a little bit more, I want a little more meat on those bones. It's just too shallow. It's just not good enough for me to want to spend my time on. But I'm always looking for a good reviewer that I know, that I can trust. And I would like, of course, because I don't have the same taste as this Kelly girl. I'm calling her girl. She's only 41. that smells divine. I like the way she describes fragrances, but we don't have the same taste, and I don't have the same taste as Anna Laurent either, and not as Ramsey, even though there's an overlap with each one of them. But I guess that's the way it is, you know. There's no one that has my taste exactly. I used to think that, I think I'm going to make a video about Demi Rawling actually soon, because I used to listen to her channel back when she was like 4 years ago, when she was kind of a kid, and she was still kind of like, you could tell that she was not sponsored and kind of like driven by whoever she's, you know, has collaborations with. It was just so different. And I thought she was like super charming. I loved her accent, and I loved her. She's just I mean, I like her personality. I still do. I like her personality. I think she seems like a really nice person, but it's impossible for her to keep her opinions separate from all that pressure commercially. I mean, I was in business myself, and I could feel this urge, you know, to be more commercial. It was in the food business, but it's kind of similar to like, I believe I had a special food philosophy, you might say. And like, I wanted to sell food to the masses, but I wanted them all to buy quality. But they weren't ready to buy, you know, everything organic or everything additive free, or they might not want to pay extra to buy, you know, Swedish pork instead of Danish. There are big differences in how we raise pigs in Denmark and Sweden. And the Swedish pork meat is like more than twice the price of the Danish, and there's for good reason. I was still kind of pressured to let go of some of the Swedish pork I did not let go of, but like some of so we ended up compromising, and like 25% of the groceries in our bag were organic, but not the 100%. It also had a little bit to do with, you know, like the organic produce and stuff didn't last as long, and we would get returns, and that would cost a lot of money, things like that. But I can just see that it must be, especially at her age, because when I started my business, I was like 38. I was more mature. She's like getting into this like in her early 20s. It just must be so hard. I'm just so glad that I'm not in her shoes. I would suffer. I would really suffer, because I do think she is an authentic frag head. I think she loves fragrance. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I think that's how she really got into it. She had you know, a talent for describing fragrance, and she had we have an expression in Swedish that you go through the screen. It means that when you talk on screen, people listen, like you're drawn in. And I think she has, you know, her beauty, she's got a good voice, she's got a good she's got a good vibe, she's got energy. She's like a nice person. I think that's. I mean, I think many of the big reviewers look really good. I mean, I think that's, look at Jeremy Fragrance. I mean, he's so popular. It's not just a coincidence. And then, of course, he's kind of crazy, and people go for that, and that goes viral. So, I mean, there's an explanation. I'm kind of way off topic here. Anyway, I guess my videos are kind of, I've just noticed, you know, if I just put up, I'm sampling this new set of 8 fragrances. Please listen to me. They get like 300 views. When I talk about my honest opinions about the fragrance community, about the industry, about, you know, reviewers, I guess it seems like you guys find that more interesting, just like I do. I mean, this is what I find more interesting. So if I talk about what really is on what I'm thinking about, what's going through my head, that is more popular than me just trying these fragrances. But to sum it all up, I'm passing this on. Is that the correct? Yes. I will be passing this on. They have all the little fragrances in the back. You can kind of read about them. No, it's just the ingredients, all the chemical different stuff in here. Okay, but you can at least see which ones are in there. They're not bad, very nice, but not nice enough for me to buy a full bottle of any of them. Thank goodness. Okay, that was all for now. This was a long video. See you in the next video, which will come shortly. Bye-bye.